You with Healthbeat, and we're at the Children's Memorial Institute, built over 100 years ago and still serving the needs of Joburg's children. Youngsters are referred here by their schools or social workers when their behavior becomes problematic for their regular carers. Poverty and violence hamper childhood development, with nearly 1 in 2 young South Africans having experienced violence, according to UCT's Children's Institute. But sometimes the high energy of a confrontation can be therapy. The Healthbeat team visited one such project in this building.
Remember, the children who come here come from a very, very diverse background. So I've got children who can't afford the taxi fare to get here. They walk 7 kilometers to get here. And I've got children of billionaires who come here. Children who are in the city, who are, say, for example, refugees and asylum seekers, they've survived wars. Literally, they've fled wars. You've got economic migrants from other places in the country. They are survivors of poverty.
This boxing gym is free and open to anyone, and has become much more than a gym. Welcome to Fight with Insight.
The majority of the children who get referred to me, they've been to a psychiatrist, or they've been to a mental health facility, or they've been to a program or a psychologist, whatever. Their mental health crisis is being displayed in behavior. So they're not being called depressed or, anxious. They are defiant, they are aggressive, they are self-harming. So we've seen the mental health crisis in this really hectic acting out behavior, aggression, and really hectic acting in behavior, self-harm and substance use and screen addiction.
Coach Luke Lamprecht has worked in this building since the 1990s. First as a volunteer and later as a child protection specialist. With a master's degree in child health, he co-founded Fight with Insight with a former pro boxer and a research scientist. Initially, it was to help child sexual offenders. Today, they're working on practical ways to support the mental well-being of all boys and girls in Gauteng. It's now one of the province's biggest amateur boxing gyms, with sessions designed for kids on the autism spectrum, and they work closely with the Tara Psychiatric Hospital. Most people who've been helped here stick around to pay it forward.
As a troublesome boy, people started coming to this gym. So yeah, most importantly is discipline.
I've learned how to communicate with people my age. I was a very shy person growing up, so I've learned to open up more, to enjoy being a teenager as well.
Kids nowadays should actually have a voice and have someone to be there for them and actually say, yeah, you're safe around here.
They've coined the 6 F's: fitness, friends, food, feelings, fight club and fun, to better guide personal choices and to nip potential problems in the bud.
If you eat more than you use, you're unhealthy. If you eat less than you use, you're unhealthy. Your emotions are the same. So input is your senses, output is behavior. It's about digesting it in between. So we link that directly to emotional fitness, to say that if the world dysregulates you, we need to give you ways to re-regulate yourself. They haven't been given the tools to regulate, and the modern world doesn't want people to regulate. It wants people to behave impulsively, constantly stay on devices, buy stuff. And as a result, what happens is they can't manage the intensity of the feelings, so they start cutting themselves, burning themselves, etc.
Luke still sees the after effects of COVID and lockdown, when online schooling and distracted parents led to screen addiction and poor communication. Not to mention the isolation that often comes with living in a city like Joburg. That's why this is a cell phone-free zone.
So you've got these very cut-off kind of communities where you go to school, you shop, you socialise in this little kind of ghetto. It just happens to be a wealthy ghetto. And those levels of isolation, the parents think their children are safe there, but they're not actually safe because what they're getting up to in those estates is sometimes worse than what they're getting up to in Hillbrow. Most of the emergency interventions I did during the big lockdown in COVID were in very wealthy homes. Children harming themselves, trying to kill themselves, hopelessly addicted to their phones, using copious amounts of marijuana. Their parents have literally left them to their own devices. The parents are spending more time online themselves because they're working online, there's no boundaries anymore. So the parents are not paying as much attention to their children, even though they're at home.
What Luke would like to see in the city is for its young people to live unbothered lives, able to connect to others with respect and doing what they love.
You have to find your wow. So what is the wow of the world? What is the thing that kind of switches you on? The boxing gym can be a wow. So, I mean, others use music, we've got art, we've got dancing. It's that feeling of being in the zone where the world is an okay place.